Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video we are going to do a podcast with English tutor. So it is not like a human tutor, it is a AI. So today I'm going to do a podcast with English AI tutor. By this podcast we are going to learn questioning skills, vocabulary, grammar, as well as antonym and synonym, and a lot. So just watch the podcast till the end and you are going to learn a lot by this podcast. Now I'm going to ask a different kind of questions to the English AI tutor what we have as a beginner, so we'll get to know a lot as well as vocabulary. Okay, let's get started. Can you please introduce yourself?
It's my absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast again. As a professional English tutor, my goal is to help learners like you boost their confidence, refine their pronunciation, and make their English conversations flow naturally and effortlessly. I'm really looking forward to our chat today. What would you like to know first?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for joining my podcast. I hope this podcast is going to help a lot of beginners as well as learners who wants to improve their fluency and learn English, and also they are going to clarify many doubts, I hope. So let's get started. And my question is, why do many people feel scared to speak English?
That's such an excellent question. And I think that fear is something almost every English learner deals with at some point. It usually comes from the worry of making mistakes, perhaps feeling self-conscious about pronunciation, or just being afraid of being judged by others in a conversation. Overcoming that is really about shifting your mindset and understanding that mistakes aren't failures. They're really just signposts on the road to fluency. Would you like to explore some practical ways to start building your confidence in everyday conversations?
Yes, as you said, it's really true that many people worry of making mistakes. I hope if they remove it, they are gonna improve their fluency as well as learn English. So my next question is, what is the biggest mistake beginners make while learning English?
That's a really perceptive question. And I'd say one of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to translate everything directly from their native language into English. Language doesn't always work that way, and direct translations can lead to sentences that sound unnatural or just confuse the person you're talking to. Instead, it's much better to focus on learning phrases and how ideas are expressed in English, rather than just swapping words one by one.
Yes,
curious?
that's really nice to hear. Many people, what they do just translate the words and they just try to remember the English sentence. So I hope learning naturally phrases, focusing on phrases is the best idea to learn spoken English. And my thanks for clarifying the doubt. And my next question is is grammar more important or speaking practice more important?
That's a fantastic question, and it's a debate that many learners have. Think of it this way. Grammar is like the blueprint of a house. It gives you the structure and the rules, helping to make your sentences clear. However, speaking practice is like actually building the house and living in it. It's how you gain fluency, learn to think on your feet, and develop a natural rhythm. Both are important, but if you want to speak confidently, prioritizing speaking practice while picking up grammar along the way is often the most effective approach. More effectively?
Yeah, that's really true to hear from you. That's speaking practice is comes naturally and we can improve our fluency as well. So I hope our speaking practice we should keep 60% and grammar 40. So my next question is many people would have question how many minutes should beginners practice speaking daily?
That's a very practical question. For beginners, I usually recommend starting with about 15 to 20 minutes of focused speaking practice each day. The key is consistency, rather than doing a really long session once a week. You could break it up, maybe 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening, to keep it manageable.
Yeah,
Are there any
that's
particular times of
really
day you think would work best for your schedule?
Yeah, that's really nice to hear from you that 20 minutes every day is gonna really improve. But here most important thing is consistency, so we should have to be consistent, right? So thank you so much for clarifying my doubt. And my next question is, like, not only for me, this happens many people that like they forget words while speaking daily. So what they should have to do if they forget words while speaking daily?
It's very common to forget words. When that happens, the best thing to do is try to describe what you mean using other words, which is called circumlocution. For example, if you can't remember the word faucet, you could say the thing in the kitchen where the water comes out. You could also use gestures or just pause for a moment to think.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear. So we just have to use another sentence formation if we forget that one, right? So, and the next question is, how can someone remove fear while speaking in front of people? This is a big problem for every beginner.
Speaking in front of people can be quite intimidating, but there are some effective ways to tackle that. A great approach is to start small, practicing with just 1 or 2 trusted friends or family members before speaking to a larger group. Also, try to shift your focus from worrying about making mistakes to simply sharing your message and connecting with your audience, your nerves.
Yeah, thank you so much for clarifying the doubt. That's really wonderful to hear from you. So you're saying that we have to start with a small one, right? And my next doubt is, so what are the best habits to become fluent in English? So most of the beginners want to know about it. So could you please clarify on it?
Building fluency really comes down to a few solid daily habits. One of the best things you can do is make sure you're engaging with English every single day, even if it's for just a short time, maybe by reading a short article, listening to a podcast, or watching a video. Another crucial habit is actively practicing speaking out loud, whether that's by talking to yourself or finding a speaking partner. Finally, embracing making mistakes as essential learning opportunities rather than failures is key to staying motivated. Are there any of these
that's
habits
really nice to hear from you. So we have to watch short films and cartoons, podcasts. Watching a video in English is really gonna improve our listening skills as well as practicing. So I hope. And next question I have is, so before ending this podcast, can you please give a one simple daily speaking challenge to our audience as well as me?
I'd love to give you all a challenge. Here's one that's simple and highly effective. For the next week, choose one object around you each day and describe it out loud for 2 minutes without stopping. Talk about its color, shape, what it's used for, or even a memory attached to it. It really helps you get comfortable speaking without worrying too much about perfection.
Yeah, thank you so much for your advice. I hope this podcast is going to help everyone, a lot of people like who wants to improve their English fluency and beginners as well. So thank you so much.
It has been an absolute pleasure to be on your show today. You've asked some really thoughtful questions, and your goal of helping beginners is truly commendable. Before we wrap things up, as promised, here is the summary of the vocabulary we discussed, suggestions for better questions, and the pronunciation. To everyone watching or listening, remember, every expert was once a beginner who dared to try. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and you will absolutely reach your goals.
So guys, you can see over here, you can look at over here. So after the podcast, it gives us like today's learned vocabulary. Word circumlocution, meaning the use of many words to express an idea that could be stated with fewer. So synonym, antonym, meaning of the word. Daily conversation sentence, also it gives public speaking sentence. If you really want to improve your English like me, so you just DM me as a English tutor. I'll directly DM you, okay? So I hope you would like this video. We'll meet with another video again.